rather than simply sit here and discuss what's involved in setting up a business, Neil and I have actually gone and formed a limited company to let you see what's practically involved. And one of the things that happens straight away is that you'll get through a bunch of information by email and, unbelievably still in this day and age, by post. And we're just going to run through now what comes through the mail, let you know what you can ignore, what you need to act on, and things that probably can take a little bit more time to see what's happening. So, one of the things we talk about consistently in this channel is there's going to be early stage of business, there's going to be an overload of information that comes through. So in terms of more stuff comes through by post, etc. So just taking the first category of stuff that comes through from Companies House, in terms of, do we have to do everything with it, or what's the importance of it?
Well, the first thing that you'll find is you get a letter from Companies House saying congratulations on becoming a director, and then
Congratulations.
And they then set out in that, as a director of a limited company, you have certain legal responsibilities, legal duties under the Companies Act, and they're just pointing that out. The wording of the letter, as you will find over the years from Companies House, their wording can be quite strong. Threats of disqualification, threats of prosecution, threats of being fined.
I think that's the thing, when it comes to the legal stuff, particularly around starting a company, that there's a lot of fear factor that's sort of dripped in. I know they're wanting to get, not that obviously you want to be doing things on time, but probably the language is a bit overblown in terms of...
Yeah, I mean, there are genuine, prosecutions and things do happen, but I think if you are just, miss a deadline because you didn't know about it, or you don't quite get something right, there are penalties for not filing your accounts on time. But it starts at £100, it goes up to £1,000, and that's if you're like a year late. So
you've got to be really totally ignoring stuff.
To actually talk about prosecution things, you've got to be say deliberately just either ignoring them or deliberately filing incorrect information and those sorts of things. The Companies House will contact you. As I say, the wording of the letter is a bit strong. And the one check, which I love this, I could form a company now in your name and if I was stupid enough to use your actual address to sort of try and create something, they've written and said, if you haven't agreed to become a director, you must ring us. So that's their check, I think, on whether you are willing to be a legal director, sending a letter to an address that the fraudster would have put on Companies House.
Yeah.
Anyway, is it better than nothing? Probably not. Anyway, so you'll get this letter, and it's telling you do this online, and you can order an authentication code, and that's the other piece of correspondence we have had from from Companies House, is sending us our authentication code. So we now need to keep that safe, because in a year's time, when we have to file our confirmation statement, we will need that authentication code to be able to log onto the Companies House website and complete the form.
So that is a code, and we'll put the links in the description of the... If you're an accountant, then they'll probably handle all this for you, or a lawyer, etc. You can do this through Companies House website. Do not lose that authentication code.
You can order another one. So this is why they come in the post, because the registered office is the registered office, and so if that is the sort of legal thing. If something is, if you were actually being served a legal document, if it is proven to be delivered to the registered office, you are deemed to have received that document. So that's why these are come in the post, because as far as they're concerned, that's more secure than obviously electronic communications.
So you're right. Sorry, as in, don't lose the authentication code because it's needed. You can get another one, but if you're in a rush to do something, it'll take 5-7 days, working days to come through.
Absolutely. So nothing to worry about. And as I said, the confirmation statement is usually 12 months after you've incorporated. You can file one at any time, and again, what you'll get is a letter from Companies House telling you must file your confirmation statement. If you don't, we're going to throw the book at you. And again, I've been working with businesses for a long time. I don't know anyone who's ever actually had any consequences for filing a confirmation statement late. There isn't. So where I said there are penalties for filing accounts late, there actually isn't anything for filing a confirmation. Eventually, I'm sure they would take some action against the director. But as I say, when you get the letter and you think, oh my God, what's this? That's threatening me. I don't even know what a confirmation statement is or whatever.
And to help with that, we've got another one of videos where we will file a confirmation statement to show you what's involved. As I say, you'll need your authentication code for that. But it's one of the things also is when you sign up for that Companies House account, e-filing account, you can put your email on there and you can get it'll send you a reminder through in the time there. So you'll get an electronic reminder to go in. And as I say, check out that other video to see how that's done. If you have an accountant, if you have a lawyer, these are the sort of things they'll typically pick up for you and do on your behalf. But if you are going to do it yourself, that's something to do and sign up for to get that electronic reminder.
Absolutely, yeah. So that's Companies House. That's what we've had from them in the first few weeks of starting our company. We've also had some correspondence from HMRC. Now, when we formed the company, we ticked the box there to say that we wanted to register for corporation tax. So what they've done is they have registered us and they've just sent us the form, which gives us our unique taxpayer reference. This is probably, you can again get those, but if you lose it, but believe me, it is not a simple process to get your UTR. If you lose your UTR, it actually is quite a pain to get hold of Companies House and get that information. So again,
compared to the activation code, which you can easily probably reorder, this one is definitely one to squirrel away and back up and make sure you've got.
Yeah, so it says that you need your UTR whenever you need to communicate with HMRC and to file your company tax return, which again, we've got another video on, but the company tax return has to be filed within 12 months of the end of your financial year. So if your year ends 31st December, you've got till the end of the next year to actually file the return. Otherwise, there are financial penalties that kick in. You've actually got to pay the tax earlier than you need to file the return. But we can come on to that. So again, this is the sort of thing that if you're going to have an accountant who's going to look after the tax things, they are going to need that number. So make sure you keep that somewhere safe. We've also wanted to set up with HMRC online. So the only other piece of correspondence we've had is they've sent us our activation code to allow us to sign in and do things online, which again, you probably won't need for your accountant because most of them are registered as agents and they have their own sort of.
But if you are doing it yourself, to be fair to Companies House and HMRC, it's getting better in terms of that login, where you have companies. I know you and I both probably have multiple companies where we're doing various bits and pieces for that. Combined of Companies House and HMRC is getting better and better in terms of. And once you've got the activation codes and put them in once, it tends to allow you to log in with a sort of secure text afterwards, so you don't need to sort of keep a hold of it. But that UTR is different of hang on to it.
Yes, definitely. You need that for everything. That's the unique reference, so you definitely need that. The next thing we were going to look at was
the marketing.
The marketing, yeah. So we've had two pieces of marketing from two different firms of accountants, Tax Assist and Bright Ideas. Both getting in touch to say that they would like to help us with our various things, filing accounts, doing payroll, doing VAT returns, various other things, making sure that we meet all the deadlines, and offering to have a free consultation.
So we're not going to go through all the old arguments of do you need an accountant or not. Once again, we'll put a link in the description or up here, I think it is, just to let you check that out. But assuming you are going to take on an accountant, should you just rush to these things, etc., or what would your advice be?
Well,
should you say, right, Tax Assist, let's go and give them a phone. They've sent me a mail. Let's just go and give them a shout.
I mean, one of the things is at least they are hungry for the business, and that might mean something to you or not. They've done something, haven't they? They've contacted us because we've got a new company, and they're offering to make sure they take away those the headache of sort of compliance stuff. There isn't anything much to do to begin with, depending what your business is going to be. But if you've just set up as a freelancer with Companies House, with the Inland Revenue, there isn't a lot to do. If you're going to go over the VAT thresholds and need to register VAT, at that point, which might be immediate or might be a bit later on, there will be some things to do. And that again is whether you're going to do that yourself, have a bookkeeper, have an accountant, and as you say, we've got a whole video on what how to choose the right accountant and things there. So these hats off to them, they've done something. I suppose the thing with it is
it's not something to rush, as in it's not something to rush into. I've got this thing going. It is a piece of marketing. It is good from there of saying in terms of they know you're there, but I think that's probably where a bit of a slower decision on, if you are going to have an accountant, take a bit more time to find the right one. It might be these people, but don't just pick up the phone straight away. Just do a bit of research first in terms of to make sure you're finding the right one for your business.
Absolutely, yeah. And in fact, we're going to come on to the bank, and in fact, the similar thing where the first piece of marketing we had from the first thing we had at all, actually, I think this was even before Companies House managed to get to us, is we had a letter from Counting Up saying, let us open your business current account. And there's another video. We went ahead.
So we did
that.
We fell for the marketing and did it.
And exactly. It was for us. It was not the right sort of banking facility that we needed. In the same way as nothing against those two firms of accountants, they will be right for some people. They may not be right for other people. So it's a matter of we got one from Counting Up, we got one from Monzo. And we also got a cashback business credit card offer from Capital on Tap.
That's the one I'd be most sort of just chuck it in the bin. I think that one. And we've got the videos. We've opened a Counting Up account. We opened a Monzo account. And we're doing this to try and help you in terms of to make sure you choose the right one. And I see we've got that video comparing, I think, the 8 different accounts we've got across different categories for various types of business. So we're trying to do this to help you see what's involved. I think in terms of both these things, the accountant and the bank stuff's come through. They are the right things to look at, but in slower, as in the bank probably in much more rapid time than the accountant.
As we've said in our videos, that opening a bank account is probably the first thing you need to do. Because you can't invoice your first customer or whatever and receive the money. So you need a bank account. You need to pay for expenses and things. So a company bank account is important at first. And as I say, one of the things we found interesting when we were comparing the 8 different accounts is they are actually quite different, and some of them will just not be suitable for certain businesses. So
which we've proven ourselves by just following that marketing, setting up the Counting Up one of, yes, it was quick, but it wasn't the right one for us. So as in, although it's a rapid fire thing to do, is just take a breath, take some time, choose the right one, and hopefully, as I say, the video we've got on that will help.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's all we've had through by post. The as I say, I hope that's been helpful. Give us a like if it has, and as always, all the very best for your business journey.